What's up, guys? Kevin here. So I played about 90 minutes of Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart. And let's go back, though, because going into this game, I wasn't really looking forward to it. But all the reviews, everyone kept saying, like, this is the first next-gen game. This game is absolutely next-gen. This is a reason why I buy a PlayStation 5. This is a reason why people are a little upset that God of War and Horizon are being held back by last-gen games, which I don't believe. And after 90 minutes, my takeaway from Ratchet and Clank is, yeah, this is a little bit overrated. This is a little bit. What were the reviewers playing? Okay, so I'm not trying to be a hater here, just because I wasn't looking forward to the game to begin with. So let me start from there. And for those thinking that I'm hating on Sony, right now, Returnal's probably my game of the year. That's a game I didn't look forward to going into playing, just like Ratchet and Clank, but the gameplay blew me away. Blew me away. The gameplay in this game it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you do get a lot of cool weapons, but just something doesn't register. Just something, I don't feel like when I'm shooting or hitting the enemies, something just isn't satisfying. Now, maybe that's just because I put 60 hours into Returnal, and that feels amazing. That feels so good. DualSense, I really do think, is next gen. It was very next gen on Returnal, Astrobot. Here, it does some nice things with the DualSense and Ratchet and Clank, but I think it could have done better, especially like firing weapons and like hitting enemies. Sometimes it's just felt a little floaty, I would say, a little soft. That was something I noticed. And I think the biggest thing that really disappoints me about Ratchet and Clank is I see a really good studio here in Insomniac, and I want them to make a game for me. I'm an adult. I'm in my 30s. Insomniac, make a game for me, please. Just please. I don't want another Spider-Man. This is the same thing that happened with Miles Morales. I put an hour into that and went, okay. I played Spider-Man 2018. I enjoyed that, but Insomniac games I'm just not into. I'm really not. And I thought the gameplay in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart would have carried me to wanting to see this through. Right now, the only thing seeing me through this is, holy shit, I spent $70. I need to get more than 90 minutes out of it. So, but this is just my first impressions of the game. Rivet here, nice character. I really see the franchise probably moving to her because Ratchet's kind of boring. You know, been there, done that. Rivet has, I want to say, much more of a personality, but yeah, she's funner to look at and maybe a little bit more relatable. I don't know, but story is okay, I guess. Clank gets separated from Ratchet and ends up with Rivet, and Ratchet has to go find Clank. Dr. Nefarious, all that, I don't know. The game's just not for me. The world's just not for me. Is it a great looking game? Is this a next gen looking game? No. Like, I'm not saying the game doesn't look good, but you know, when I kept hearing like, oh my God, I'm playing a Pixar game. Oh my God, this looks so awesome. This looks so good. And I'm just like, okay, it looks good, but let's not overhype things. Let's stop doing that, because I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, and that's the best looking PS5 game I've ever played. That's a great looking game, especially compared to the original. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I'm not saying is a bad looking game, but I've played 4K 60 FPS games before. I played 4K games on PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. That looked really damn good. I played a Red Dead Redemption 2. Even Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on the Xbox One X. Whoa, that looked good. That looked amazing. And I'm actually looking forward to playing that, the PS5 version, today over Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. But it's still a very good looking game. You can play it in fidelity mode, which maybe if I would have stuck with that fidelity, but it's at like 30 frames per second, I can't go back. I don't know anyone who's been playing games at 60 frames per second this generation can go back to fidelity mode and play at 30 frames per second. Shout out to you if you can. Maybe you'll get the WoW experience that everyone's talking about. From which I understand, a lot of reviewers can only play in that fidelity mode, which, yeah, that's something that needs to be called out for on Insomniac's part. But I mean, the 60 frames per second mode absolutely is wonderful. I didn't play the ray tracing, I just played the performance. So, yes, maybe that's why it doesn't look very next gen or eye popping to me. But even in just regular fidelity mode, I'm like, yeah, it looks good. It looks good. But let's not get too carried away here. Let's not go crazy here. The this one really, the dimensions, which the power of the SSD could have only done this. That was hilarious. It's basically a grapple. Most of the time, it's a grappling hook. You basically see a portal or dimension. It basically takes you to that part of the map. That's all it is. It's just a glorified grappling hook. There is some interesting uses for it. And I do see if it was on PS4, those kind of where you're actually traveling to different dimensions, yeah, that probably would be a few seconds longer, but I think they can make it work. I guarantee if Sony went to Insomniac and said, sales are not looking too good on PS5, we need you to make this for PS4, they could do it. This is absolutely a game that could be made on PS4. And yeah, overall, I'm just not feeling the game, but I recognize greatness here. I recognize Insomniac has worked their butts off for Sony and really has carried the PS5 with Miles Morales, 60 frames per second mode on Ratchet and Clank, and now Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Like, yeah, they've been MVP for PlayStation 5. They just haven't been an MVP for me. And I think it's time for Insomniac to make a game for adults. Make a great game for adults that kids can enjoy. And not the other way around. Stop making games for kids that adults can enjoy. Plus, it makes me think you guys are weird, pervy. I'm not going to say that word. But make a game for me. That's all I want. Just make a game for me. Other than that, yeah. If you're very interested or want to play Ratchet and Clank or Rift Apart, you're going to enjoy it. If you're someone like me who hears all these nice things about Ratchet and Clank, but you're never interested in the first place, yeah, you're not going to enjoy it. And that's where I'm at. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just, like, right afterwards, I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, just the regular game on PS5. And my God, that game is just so good looking. Just so... And that world and story and everything is just clicking with me more than goofy, goofball, whimsical visuals and characters. And I don't know. My imagination just doesn't allow for that type of stuff. I don't know. Anyways, there you have it. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I will talk to you guys later. Later. I was going to do a Let's Play, but that ain't happening anymore.